The marble feels cold even through Leo's shoes. He shouldn't have come alone. He knew that the moment he stepped through the revolving glass doors of Sterling Heights Medical Tower, when the receptionist's smile faltered at the sight of his swollen belly pressing against the loose blue shirt. The air smells wrong here. Not like a hospital, but like money. Expensive flowers arranged in crystal vases. Leather chairs no one sits in. The kind of place where procedures happen quietly, where consent is negotiated in whispers, where omegas like him are corrected rather than healed. His hands won't stop shaking. The appointment reminder on his phone said, prenatal consultation. He'd believed it because he wanted to, because 3 months of hiding in a studio apartment above a laundromat makes you desperate for anything that sounds like care. The pup has been kicking more lately. Strong, insistent movements that remind Leo he's not just surviving for himself anymore. Leo. The voice cuts through the lobby's manufactured calm like a blade through silk. Sharp, controlled, alpha. His spine locks before his brain catches up. Before he can turn, before he can run. A large hand lands on his shoulder. Possessive, claiming, as if it still has the right. The grip is firm enough to hurt without leaving marks. Adrian always knew where the lines were. Leo's omega sense spikes violently. Fear, distress, the sharp, unmistakable edge of a pregnant omega under threat. Every alpha in the building will smell it within seconds. You said you wouldn't come near me, Leo whispers. His voice fractures halfway through. Adrian leans closer. His breath is warm against Leo's ear, his shadow swallowing Leo whole. You don't get to make demands anymore, sweetheart. Not after you embarrassed me. The word hits harder than a slap. Embarrassed, not abandoned. Not betrayed, not heartbroken. Embarrassed. Before Leo can respond, Adrian's other hand rises. A phone. Camera already open, already recording, angled directly at Leo's face. The lens captures everything. The tears Leo didn't realize were falling. The way his free hand curves protectively over his belly. The tremor in his jaw. Smile, Adrian says quietly, almost gently. You look terrible when you cry. Leo's breath catches. His vision blurs. Across the lobby, a doctor freezes mid-step. White coat, red tie, phone pressed to his ear. His eyes go wide, mouth falling open as if he's just realized he's walked into the wrong war. He doesn't move, doesn't intervene, just stares. Look at yourself, Adrian continues, zooming in with his thumb. The phone's camera adjusts with a soft click. Swollen, scarred, soft. You expect me to let the world know this is what carried my air. The words land like stones in deep water. Heavy, sinking. Leo's knees threaten to buckle. You rejected the bond. You kicked me out. And you got ugly without me. Adrian's tone is flat, matter-of-fact, as if commenting on the weather. That's on you, Leo. All of it. The doctor finally finds his voice. Sir, this patient hasn't consented to. He will. Adrian cuts in smoothly. His grip on Leo's shoulder tightens just enough to make Leo gasp. Won't you, Leo? Leo shakes his head. The movement is small, desperate. I won't let you touch my face. I won't let you hurt our pup. Adrian laughs once, sharp and humorless. Don't flatter yourself. This surgery is the least you owe me. Fix the face. Fix the optics. Then maybe, I'll acknowledge the thing you're carrying. The word surgery lands like a blade. Something inside Leo collapses. He cries openly then, not loud, not dramatic, just broken, shaking breaths as he curls protectively around his stomach. His hands press flat against the curve of life beneath his shirt. The pup kicks as if sensing danger. I just wanted to be safe, Leo whispers. The doctor takes a step forward, then stops. His eyes dart toward the surgical wing, toward the security guards by the entrance, toward the elevator where more staff are emerging. No one helps. Adrian angles the phone again, adjusting the frame. Look at the camera, Leo. Tell them you want this. Leo's tears fall faster now. Hot, silent. That's when the air changes. Not louder, not violent, heavier. Every alpha in the building feels it before they see him. A pressure that makes breath catch, makes instincts scream, makes weaker alphas step back without knowing why. The doctor's phone slips slightly in his hand. The security guards at the entrance stiffen, hands moving instinctively toward their radios but not pressing the buttons. Black suit, no insignia, no rush. The man who enters through the main doors doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't need to. His presence alone makes Adrian's grip on Leo's shoulder falter. Just slightly, just enough. He's tall, dark-haired, sharp-featured like the edge of a knife. His eyes are darker still, the kind of black that swallows light instead of reflecting it. He moves with the unhurried confidence of someone who's never been told no in his life and never will be. His scent cuts through the sterile, expensive air like steel through smoke. "Remove your hand," the stranger says calmly. Adrian turns, annoyed rather than threatened. This is private business. The man's dark eyes drop, slowly, deliberately, to Leo's stomach, then to the tear tracks on his face, then back to Adrian. "No," he says. "It's not." Adrian's hand doesn't move from Leo's shoulder. "I don't know who you think you are," Adrian says, his alpha voice edged with authority. "But you're interrupting a private medical matter." The stranger doesn't respond immediately. He simply stands there, 3 meters away, hands loose at his sides. Waiting, the doctor clears his throat. "Sir, we have protocols." "Protocols?" Adrian repeats, his voice sharpening. He shifts his grip on Leo, pulling him closer, tighter. "The protocol is that my omega requires corrective surgery. It's already been scheduled. The consent forms are ready." Leo's breath hitches. "Your omega? Don't." Adrian's voice drops to a whisper only Leo can hear. "Don't make this harder than it needs to be. You know I loved you. I still do. That's why I'm doing this." Loved. Past tense wrapped in present justification. Leo's stomach turns. The pup kicks again, harder this time as if protesting. "You rejected our bond." Leo says, louder now, desperate for someone to hear. "You said I was nothing. You threw my things in the hallway and told me you couldn't be seen with an omega who let himself go." Adrian finishes smoothly. "Yes, because you did, Leo. Look at you." He gestures with the phone still recording. "Stretch marks, scarring from who knows what. You used to take care of yourself. You used to be beautiful." The words settle over Leo like ash. The doctor shifts his weight. His eyes flick to the stranger still standing motionless near the entrance, then back to Adrian. "Mr. Castellan, perhaps we should discuss this in a consultation room." "We're discussing it here," Adrian snaps. Then softer, sickeningly gentle. "Leo, sweetheart, I'm not the bad guy. I'm trying to help you. The surgery is minor. Just some adjustments. Refinement. You'll look like yourself again. The world won't judge our child for having a what?" Leo chokes out. Adrian doesn't answer. He doesn't have to. The staff hesitates. A nurse near the surgical wing glances at the doctor, who shakes his head almost imperceptibly. Orders without words. "Don't interfere. He has money. He has lawyers. This is above your pay grade." Adrian releases Leo's shoulder only to grip his chin instead, forcing Leo to face the camera. "Say it. Say you consent to the procedure." Leo tries to pull away. Adrian's fingers dig in. "Say it, Leo." The pup kicks violently. Leo's knees buckle. He would fall if Adrian weren't holding him upright, not out of care but control. The stranger speaks again, quieter this time, colder. "I won't ask twice." Adrian's jaw tightens. "And I won't be threatened by someone with no authority here." "Authority?" The stranger tilts his head slightly. "You think authority matters in this room?" The doctor takes a step back. Then another. The security guards shift their stance but don't approach. Can't approach. Every instinct in the building is screaming the same message. Danger. The stranger's eyes remain fixed on Leo, not Adrian. "Leo, did you consent to surgery?" he asks. Leo shakes his head. The movement is small, almost childlike. Did you want your face changed? Another shake. Tears fall faster now, hot and shameful. Adrian's voice rises. He's emotional. He doesn't know what he wants. That's why I'm here, to make the right choice for both of us. The stranger's expression doesn't change, but something in the air shifts, tightens. For both of you, he repeats slowly, as if tasting the words. Interesting. Adrian raises the phone again, camera zooming in on Leo's face. Last chance, Leo. Agree on record, or I'll make sure everyone knows what kind of omega you really are. Unstable, manipulative, unfit. Leo's vision swims. His hands tremble against his belly. The phone's red recording light blinks. Say it. The stranger moves. Not fast, not threatening, but decisive. 3 strides close the distance between them. His hand, larger than Adrian's, steadier, reaches out and plucks the phone from Adrian's grip as easily as taking a toy from a child. Adrian's fingers close on empty air. What the? The stranger turns the phone off with one thumb. The red recording light dies. Then he slips it into his own pocket, calm and unhurried, as if he has every right in the world to do so. You're shaking, he says. Not to Adrian. To Leo. Leo looks up, startled. This close, the stranger's scent is overwhelming. Steel and smoke and something darker. Something that smells like controlled violence and winter nights. It cuts through the clinic's sterile air, through Adrian's cloying alpha pheromones, through Leo's own distressed omega scent. Leo's voice breaks. He said I was ugly. He said I needed surgery. The stranger's expression doesn't change, but his eyes do. They go colder, flatter. Silence stretches between them. Not empty silence, the kind that comes before consequences. The doctor's phone buzzes in his hand. He doesn't answer it, can't look away. Adrian recovers his composure quickly, straightening his shoulders, pulling authority back around himself like a cloak. I don't know what you think you're doing, but that phone is private property. You just committed theft. The stranger turns to face him fully for the first time. The temperature in the room drops. You forced a pregnant omega into a clinic. The stranger says evenly, each word measured and deliberate. You recorded him while he cried. You threatened surgical alteration without consent. Adrian bristles. You don't know our history. You don't know what I know enough. The guards at the entrance finally move, but not toward the stranger. They shift their weight, eyes darting between each other, hands hovering near radios they don't press. Every instinct is screaming at them. Don't engage. Don't challenge. Don't even breathe wrong. Adrian scoffs, though it sounds forced now. And who are you supposed to be? Some kind of hero? The stranger doesn't answer immediately. Instead, he shifts his stance slightly, angling his body between Leo and Adrian, shielding without touching, protecting without claiming. Leo's breath catches. The pup kicks, gentler this time as if settling. That omega, the stranger says quietly, is under my protection. The words hit like a verdict. Final, absolute, non-negotiable. Adrian's face drains of color. Your protection? The stranger straightens his cuff. The movement is casual, almost absent-minded. But the gesture reveals something Adrian clearly recognizes. A small insignia embroidered in black thread. Subtle, unmistakable, not corporate, not political. Mafia. The doctor's breath stutters. His phone slips from his hand, clattering against the marble floor. No one picks it up. You broke bond law, the stranger continues, his voice never rising above conversational. Threatened an omega carrying a pup. Attempted forced medical alteration without legal consent. Each word stacks higher, building a case without mercy. The clinic staff witnessed it. The security cameras recorded it. Adrian steps back instinctively. He's exaggerating. He's emotional. Omegas get like this when the stranger smiles. It's not kind. It's not warm. It's the smile of a predator who's already decided how the hunt ends. Good, he says softly. So was I. when my enemies touched what was mine. Adrian's hands clench into fists. You can't just. Watch me. The stranger turns back to Leo, his expression softening just enough to be human again. Did you consent to surgery? Leo shakes his head. Did you want your face changed? Another shake. The stranger nods once, as if confirming a calculation he'd already made. Then no one will touch you. He removes his jacket, expensive, black, perfectly tailored, and drapes it carefully around Leo's shoulders. It's heavy, warm. It smells like safety, like steel and smoke, and something Leo can't name but desperately needs. The jacket covers Leo's trembling frame, covers the curve of his belly, covers the tears still sliding down his face. You're coming with me, the stranger says. Adrian lunges forward. You can't just take him. I have rights. I have lawyers. The stranger doesn't even look at him. Watch me. Security finally moves, but not toward the stranger, toward Adrian. 2 guards flank him, hands raised placatingly, voices low. Sir, we need you to step back. Sir, please. The doctor exhales shakily, relief flooding his face so visibly his shoulders sag. As Leo is guided toward the exit, his knees nearly give out. The stranger catches him easily, one arm steady as stone beneath Leo's elbow. Why? Leo whispers, his voice breaking. Why help me? The stranger pauses at the door. The glass reflects their shapes. Leo, small and trembling, wrapped in a jacket too big for him. The stranger, tall and immovable, a wall between Leo and everything behind them. Because, he says quietly, his dark eyes meeting Leo's for just a moment. I was looking for the Omega my men said cried in a clinic today. Leo's heart skips. And because, the stranger adds, his voice dropping lower, edged with something dark and promising. No one gets to call a carrying Omega ugly and walk away breathing. Behind them, Adrian shouts, threatens, rages. None of it matters. The revolving glass doors spin. The city air hits Leo's face, cold, sharp, real. And for the first time since his bond shattered 3 months ago, Leo feels something he thought he'd lost forever. Safety. The black car is already waiting at the curb. Sleek, expensive, windows tinted so dark Leo can't see inside. The rear door opens before they reach it, and a hand, gloved, professional, gestures them in. Leo hesitates. The stranger doesn't push, doesn't pull, just waits, his presence at Leo's back like a shield. You don't have to, the stranger says quietly, but Adrian is still in that building, and he has a phone in his pocket. Leo's breath hitches. He glances back through the glass doors. Inside, Adrian is arguing with security, gesturing wildly, his face flushed with rage. Even from here, Leo can see the moment Adrian pulls out his backup phone. Leo climbs into the car. The stranger follows, settling into the seat beside him with the same unhurried grace. The door closes with a soft, final click. The world outside becomes muffled, distant, safe. The driver doesn't ask for directions. The car pulls smoothly into traffic. Leo's hands are still trembling. He grips the jacket wrapped around his shoulders tighter, trying to absorb its warmth, its strange sense of protection. The scent is stronger here. Steel, smoke, something dark and steady. What's your name? Leo asks, his voice barely above a whisper. The stranger turns to look at him. Up close, in the dim interior light, his features are sharper than Leo first realized. High cheekbones, strong jaw, a small scar at his temple, barely visible unless you're looking. His eyes are still that unsettling black, but softer now, almost gentle. Damian, he says. Damian, Leo repeats. The name feels heavy on his tongue. Important. Damian reaches into his pocket. Not for the confiscated phone, but for something smaller. A business card. He hands it to Leo. The card is simple, black, embossed silver lettering. Damian Volkov, CEO, Volkov Security Solutions. No phone number, no address, just the name and a symbol Leo doesn't recognize. 2 wolves circling a crown. Security solutions, Leo says faintly. That's vague. Damian's mouth curves slightly, not quite a smile. Intentionally, the car turns onto a highway. City lights blur past the windows. Leo's hands move to his belly instinctively, feeling for the familiar kicks. The pup is quiet now, resting, maybe, or scared. Why did you really help me? Leo asks. You said you were looking for me. How did you even know I was there? Damian doesn't answer immediately. He reaches forward and presses a button on the console. A privacy screen rises between them and the driver, sealing them in complete isolation. I've been watching Adrian Castellan for 3 months, Damian says finally. He has enemies. Some of them are mine. When my people told me he'd lured a pregnant Omega to a private clinic under false pretenses, I knew what was coming. Leo's stomach turns. You knew. I suspected. Damian's voice is measured, careful. I didn't know it was you specifically until I saw you. And that mattered because? Damian turns to face him fully. His eyes search Leo's face, cataloging details. The tear tracks, the faint scarring near Leo's jaw, the exhaustion carved into every line. Because I knew your family once, Damian says quietly. A long time ago. Leo's breath catches. My family. Your father worked for my father. Security detail. He was a good man. Damian's expression doesn't change, but something flickers in his eyes. When he died, I made a promise. What promise? That if his son ever needed protection, I would provide it. No questions asked. Leo's vision blurs. He didn't realize he'd started crying again until Damian produces a handkerchief, pressed, monogrammed, and holds it out without comment. I don't remember you, Leo whispers, taking the cloth. You were 8. I was 15. You wouldn't. The car slows. They're exiting the highway now, heading toward a part of the city Leo doesn't recognize. Taller buildings, older architecture, streets that look expensive in the way only old money understands. Adrian broke bond law. Damian continues, his tone shifting back to business. Forced medical alteration without consent. Coercion of a pregnant Omega. Threatening the welfare of an unborn pup. He ticks off each violation like a prosecutor building a case. The clinic has cameras. Witnesses. Your distress was documented. He'll say I wanted it, Leo says numbly. He'll say I'm unstable. He can say whatever he wants. Damian's voice drops, cold and absolute. It won't matter. Why not? Damian looks at him, really looks at him. Because that Omega is under my protection now. And anyone who threatens you threatens the Volkov family. The words settle over Leo like a blanket. Heavy, warm, terrifying. I don't understand, Leo whispers. You don't even know me. I know enough. Damian reaches out slowly, giving Leo time to pull away. When he doesn't, Damian's hand settles gently on Leo's shoulder. Not possessive like Adrian's grip, but grounding, steady. I know you're carrying a pup alone. I know you've been surviving on nothing for months. I know Adrian destroyed your bond and your life, and you're still fighting. Leo's throat tightens. That's all I need to know, Damian says. The car pulls up to a building Leo recognizes from magazines, from news articles about the city's elite. The Volkov Tower, 40 stories of steel and glass, crowned with a penthouse that overlooks the entire city. This is where you live? Leo asks faintly. This is where you'll live, Damian corrects. For as long as you need. The door opens. The same gloved hand from before appears, offering assistance. Leo doesn't move. What if I say no? Damian's expression doesn't change. Then I'll take you wherever you want to go. And I'll make sure Adrian can't find you. But you'd prefer I stay here? Yes. Why? Damian's eyes hold his. Because I can protect you better if you're close. Leo studies him, searching for lies, for manipulation, for the same possessive control Adrian wielded like a weapon. But all he sees is patience, steadiness, the quiet confidence of someone who doesn't need to force anything because he's already 10 steps ahead. Leo steps out of the car. His legs threaten to give out on the marble steps. Damian catches his elbow again, that same steady presence. Inside, the lobby is empty, pristine. A private elevator opens at their approach, no button pressed, as if the building itself recognizes Damian and bends to accommodate him. They rise in silence. Leo watches the floor numbers climb. 15, 25, 35. The elevator opens directly into a penthouse. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlook the city, a sea of lights stretching to the horizon. The space is massive but not ostentatious. Clean lines, expensive furniture that looks lived in, a kitchen visible in the distance, hallways leading to rooms Leo can't see. Guest suite is through there, Damian says, pointing left. Private bathroom. Anything you need, press the call button. Leo nods numbly. A doctor will come in the morning, Damian continues, just to check on the pup. Make sure everything is okay after today. Leo's hands move to his belly again. Okay. Damian starts to turn away, then pauses. Leo, yeah, you're not a prisoner here. You can leave whenever you want. But while you're under my roof, no one touches you without your consent. Not medical staff, not security, not me. The words crack something open in Leo's chest. Thank you, he whispers. Damian nods once. Then he's gone, disappearing down a hallway, leaving Leo alone in a penthouse that costs more than Leo's entire life. Leo sinks onto the nearest couch. The jacket is still around his shoulders. He buries his face in it, breathing in steel and smoke, and finally, lets himself fall apart. The pup kicks. Once, twice. We're safe, Leo thinks. We're actually safe. He doesn't hear the television flickering to life in another room. Doesn't see the news anchor's face filling the screen. Doesn't know that Adrian is already spinning his narrative. Not yet. Leo wakes to soft voices in the hallway. For a moment, he doesn't remember where he is. The bed is too comfortable. The sheets too soft. The air smells wrong. Not stale laundromat detergent and street noise, but something clean and expensive and unfamiliar. Then it crashes back. The clinic. Adrian. Damian. The jacket is still wrapped around him like a shield. The voices grow clearer. Confirmed. He's already filed a police report. On what grounds? Abduction. Claims the Omega was coerced into leaving. Silence. Then Damian's voice, cold and flat. Coerced. His exact words were kidnapped by a violent alpha. He's calling himself the victim. Leo's stomach drops. He sits up too fast, head swimming, pup kicking in protest. The door to the guest suite is slightly ajar. Through the gap, Leo can see two figures in the hallway. Damian, dressed in a fresh black suit, and another man, older, silver-haired, wearing glasses and holding a tablet. Does he have proof? Damian asks. Security footage from the clinic. He's edited it. Cut out the recording, the forced consent attempt, his hand on the Omega's shoulder. It just shows you approaching them and leaving with Leo. Leo's breath catches. And the media? The older man, lawyer, Leo guesses, taps his tablet. Morning news cycle. 3 outlets so far. They're calling you a Mafia enforcer who abducted a vulnerable Omega during a medical crisis. How long until Leo sees it? He might already be awake. As if summoned, Leo pushes the door open fully. Both men turn to look at him. Damian's expression doesn't change, but something flickers in his eyes. Concern, maybe, or calculation. How much did you hear? Damian asks. Enough. Leo's voice is steadier than he expected. Adrian's saying you kidnapped me. Yes. And people believe him? The lawyer clears his throat. Mr. Castellan has a reputation. Well-connected family. Charitable donations. He's positioning himself as a concerned alpha whose Omega was stolen by... He hesitates. By a Mafia thug. Damian finishes flatly. You can say it, Marcus. Marcus shifts uncomfortably. The optics are difficult. Pregnant Omega. Powerful alpha with documented criminal connections. The narrative writes itself. Leo's hands curl into fists. But I wanted to leave. He was forcing me into surgery. Can you prove it? Marcus asks gently. The doctor saw. The security guards. Who work for the clinic Adrian paid for the appointment. Who won't risk their licenses contradicting a Castellan. Marcus's voice is kind but firm. Without independent witnesses or unedited footage, it's your word against his. Leo's knees threaten to buckle. Damian moves instantly, hand steadying Leo's elbow. Sit, Damian orders, guiding Leo to a chair in the hallway. Leo sinks into it, head spinning. He's going to win, isn't he? He's going to make me look crazy. And, no, Damian interrupts. He's not. You don't know that. Damian crouches down so they're eye level. His dark eyes hold Leo's, unwavering. I've been dismantling empires since before Adrian learned to tie his own tie. Trust me when I say, he's already lost. How? Because he doesn't know what I have. Damian stands and nods to Marcus, who taps his tablet. A screen descends from the ceiling, hidden technology seamlessly integrated into the penthouse's design. The projection flickers to life. Security footage, but not from the clinic. From outside the clinic. The angle shows Adrian arriving 30 minutes before Leo. Shows him speaking with the receptionist, handing over cash, gesturing emphatically. Shows him positioning himself near the entrance, waiting. We've had surveillance on Adrian for 3 months, Damian says quietly. Every move, every transaction, every violation. The footage switches. Another angle. Adrian on his phone outside a different building, laughing, gesturing. The audio is muffled, but subtitles appear at the bottom of the screen. Just get him there. I'll handle the rest. Surgery fixes everything. Leo's breath stops. There's more, Damian continues. Bank transfers to offshore accounts. Payments to the clinic's board members. Violations of bond law dating back 8 months, before he even rejected you. The screen fills with documents, legal filings, emails, recordings. Adrian Castellan, Damian says, his voice colder than Leo's ever heard it, isn't a concerned alpha. He's a criminal who's been operating under the protection of his family's name for years. And now he's made a mistake. What mistake? Leo whispers. Damian's eyes meet his. He touched something that belongs to me. The words hang in the air. I'm not property, Leo says quietly. No, Damian agrees. You're not. But you're under my protection. And in my world, that's the same as a declaration of war. Marcus clears his throat. The footage goes public in 3 hours. I've already contacted 5 news outlets and 2 legal advocacy groups for Omega's rights. By noon, Adrian's narrative collapses. Leo stares at the screen, at the evidence, at the meticulous, calculated destruction of the man who destroyed him. Why? Leo asks again. Why go this far? Damian doesn't answer immediately. He dismisses Marcus with a nod, and the lawyer disappears down the hallway, leaving them alone. Because, Damian says finally, I've been looking for you. Leo's heart stutters. You said that before. What does it mean? It means exactly what it sounds like. Damian's voice softens, just slightly. I've been looking for the Omega my men said cried in a clinic today. And when I found you, I realized something. What? Damian's eyes hold his. That some debts can never be repaid. Only honored. Before Leo can respond, a phone buzzes. Marcus's voice echoes from somewhere down the hall. Sir, Adrian's lawyer is calling. Damian's expression hardens instantly. Tell him we'll see him in court. He stands, straightening his cuff. The insignia catches the light. 2 wolves circling a crown. Rest, Damian tells Leo. The doctor will be here in an hour. And Leo, yeah, no one will ever call you ugly again. And if they try, his smile is sharp, cold, final. They won't live to repeat it. Then he's gone, leaving Leo alone with the evidence of his salvation playing silently on the screen. The pup kicks. Leo's hand moves to his belly, feeling the strong, insistent movements. We're going to be okay, he thinks. We're actually going to be okay. Outside, the city sprawls beneath them, and somewhere in it, Adrian Castellan's empire has already begun to crumble. The doctor arrives at exactly 9 a.m. She's older than Leo expected. Silver hair pulled back in a neat bun, kind eyes behind wire-rimmed glasses. She carries a leather bag that looks well-worn, professional, the kind that's seen 1,000 house calls. "I'm Dr. Sarah Chun," she says, extending her hand. "I specialize in omega prenatal care." Leo shakes it hesitantly. "Did Damian pay you to say everything's fine?" Dr. Chen's expression doesn't falter. "Mr. Volkov pays me to tell the truth. Always. If something's wrong, you'll know." She sets up her equipment on the coffee table with practiced efficiency. Portable ultrasound, blood pressure cuff, stethoscope, everything compact, discreet, designed for exactly this kind of situation. "May I?" she asks, gesturing to Leo's belly. Leo nods, lifting his shirt. The gel is cold. The ultrasound wand presses gently against his skin. And then, thump thump, thump thump, thump thump, fast, strong, steady. Heartbeats excellent. Dr. Chun murmurs, eyes on the screen. Fetal movement is active. Position looks good. You're about 26 weeks along. 27, Leo whispers. Tomorrow. And the pregnancy has been? Difficult. The word feels inadequate. I've been alone. No prenatal care since. He trails off. Since the bond rejection. Dr. Chun finishes gently. She doesn't look away from the screen. I've seen it before. Alpha rejects. Omega goes into survival mode. Medical care becomes impossible. I couldn't afford it. I know. She pauses the image, pointing. See this? That's your pup's hand. And here, that's a kick you probably felt this morning. Leo's throat tightens. On screen, the tiny form shifts, curls, moves with impossible life. Is she okay? Leo asks. After yesterday, after Adrian. She? Dr. Chun looks up, smiling. You know the sex? I don't know. I just feel like she's a girl. Dr. Chen's smile softens. Well, she is perfectly fine. Strong. Healthy. No signs of distress. She meets Leo's eyes. You did that. You kept her safe. The words crack something open in Leo's chest. I tried, he whispers. You succeeded. Dr. Chun finishes the exam in silence, taking measurements, checking vitals, making notes in her tablet. When she's done, she packs her equipment with the same quiet efficiency. I'll be back next week, she says. Weekly visits until delivery. And Leo, yeah, whatever Adrian told you about your body, your face, your worth, it was a lie. You're healthy, you're strong, and you're doing an incredible job. Leo can't speak, can only nod. After she leaves, Leo sits alone in the penthouse, hand pressed to his belly, feeling the pup move. Thump thump, thump thump. His phone buzzes. Unknown number. He almost doesn't answer, but something makes him press the green button. Leo, Adrian's voice, tight, controlled, furious. We need to talk. Leo's hand tightens on the phone. No, you don't get to say no. Not after what you've done. What I've done. You embarrassed me. You let that criminal take you from a medical facility. Do you know what people are saying? Do you know what this looks like? The words sound different now. Empty. Hollow. I know what it looks like, Leo says quietly. It looks like I escaped. Silence. Then, escaped. From you. Adrian's laugh is sharp, humorless. Is that what he's telling you? That I'm the villain? Leo, sweetheart, I'm trying to help you. The surgery was for your own good. To make you presentable again. To make our pup proud of. She doesn't need me to be presentable, Leo interrupts. She needs me to be safe. She, our daughter. The words feel like a weapon. Sharp. True. The pup you called it. The pup you said I was carrying like it was a burden. She's a girl, Adrian. And she's perfect. Another silence. Longer this time. You don't know that. Yes, Leo says. I do. Leo. Dr. Chun just left. She said the pup is healthy. Strong. No signs of distress. Which means despite everything you did, despite forcing me into that clinic, despite trying to make me hate myself, she survived. I never. You did. Leo's voice is steady now. Certain. You broke our bond. You threw me out. You told me I was ugly and soft and broken. You tried to force surgery on me without consent. And now you're calling yourself the victim. Because I am... Adrian snaps. You think Volkov is protecting you? You think he gives a damn about some Omega he barely knows? He's using you, Leo. He's using you to get to me, to my family, to... Stop. The word cuts through Adrian's spiral like a blade. I don't care about your family, Leo continues. I don't care about your reputation. I don't care about what people think or what the news says or what your lawyers tell you. Then what do you care about? Her. Leo's hand presses flat against his belly. I care about her. And she's safer with Damian Volkov than she ever was with you. He hangs up. His hands are shaking. His heart is racing. But for the first time since the bond shattered, Leo feels something he thought he'd lost forever. Power. The door opens. Damian steps through, still wearing the black suit, though his tie is loosened now. His eyes find Leo immediately. You answered his call, Damian says. Not a question. How did you know? Your heartbeat spiked. The penthouse monitors stress levels. He pauses. I was about to intervene. I handled it. Damian studies him. I can see that. Leo sets the phone down. He said you're using me to get to him. And what do you think? I think. Leo hesitates. I think it doesn't matter. Because even if you are, I'm still safer here than I was with him. Damian's expression doesn't change, but something flickers in his eyes. That's not an answer. It's the only one I have right now. They stand in silence. City noise filters up from 40 stories below. Distant. Irrelevant. The footage goes public in 2 hours, Damian says finally. Adrian's narrative will collapse, but it will get worse before it gets better. Are you ready for that? Leo thinks about the clinic, about Adrian's hand on his shoulder, about the phone recording his tears, about being called ugly, broken, unfit. Yes, he says. Damian nods once. Then he crosses the room and hands Leo something. A tablet, screen already lit. This is a secure line, Damian explains. If you need anything medical, legal, protection, you call this number. Someone will answer. Always. Leo takes the tablet. The screen shows a single contact. Damian Volkov direct. Why? Leo asks. Again. Still. Damian's eyes hold his. Because I told you, you're under my protection. That's not a temporary arrangement, Leo. That's a promise. Promises break. Mine don't. The words settle between them like an oath. Before Leo can respond, Marcus appears in the doorway, tablet in hand, expression grave. Sir, you need to see this. Damian takes the tablet. His jaw tightens. What? Leo asks. Damian turns the screen so Leo can see. News article. Posted 6 minutes ago. Omega rights advocate speaks out. Adrian Castellan violated bond law. Below it, a photo. The clinic. Adrian's hand on Leo's shoulder. The exact moment before Damian intervened. The article is brutal, detailed, uncompromising. Security footage obtained by this outlet shows Adrian Castellan, heir to the Castellan pharmaceutical empire, forcing his rejected Omega into a private medical facility under false pretenses. Audio recordings confirm plans for non-consensual facial surgery. Legal experts say this constitutes multiple violations of federal bond law, including coercion of a pregnant Omega and attempted forced medical alteration. Leo's breath stops. It started, Marcus says quietly. Damian sets the tablet down. Good. Adrian's lawyers are already threatening defamation suits. They're claiming the footage is fabricated. Let them claim. Damian's voice is cold. Final. We have 12 more sources ready to publish. By noon, every outlet in the city will know exactly what kind of alpha Adrian Castellan is. Leo stares at the article, at his own face frozen in fear, at Adrian's grip turned into evidence. This will destroy him, Leo whispers. Yes, Damian agrees. It will. And you're okay with that? Damian turns to face him fully. His expression is unreadable. Are you? Leo thinks about the pup. About Dr. Chen's words. You kept her safe. About Adrian's voice on the phone. Our pup. As if he still had rights. As if he hadn't rejected everything. Yes, Leo says. I am. Damian's mouth curves slightly. Not quite a smile, but close. Then we're on the same page. If you felt that shift in power, share this now. Justice doesn't wait. Comment truth if you're ready to watch Adrian fall. By noon, Adrian's world is burning. Leo watches it happen from the penthouse windows. Not literally, though part of him wishes he could see the Castellan estate from here, could watch Adrian pace and rage and crumble. Instead, he watches through the endless scroll of news alerts on the tablet Damian gave him. Castellan heir faces federal investigation into bond law violations. Multiple Omegas come forward with similar stories. Pharmaceutical giant Castellan Industries issues statement distancing from Adrian Castellan. Each headline feels like vindication, like justice compressed into pixels and text. You should eat something, Damian says from behind him. Leo startles. He hadn't heard Damian enter. The man moves like smoke. There one moment, gone the next, impossible to track. I'm not hungry. The pup is. Leo's hand moves automatically to his belly. The pup kicks as if agreeing. Traitor. Damian sets a plate on the coffee table. Not just food. Carefully arranged, balanced, the kind of meal someone planned around Omega nutritional needs. Fruit, protein, greens. Nothing heavy. Nothing triggering. Dr. Chun sent recommendations. Damian explains, answering Leo's unspoken question. Leo sits slowly, eyeing the food. Does she work for you? Or with you? Does it matter? Yes. Damian considers this. With. She's independent. I pay her fairly for her time and expertise, but her loyalty is to her patients. Always. So if I told her I wanted to leave, she'd help you leave. Damian's voice is matter of fact. I told you, you're not a prisoner. Leo picks up a strawberry, studies it. Then what am I? Protected. That's not an identity. No, Damian agrees. It's a state of being. They fall into silence. Leo eats mechanically, each bite feeling like an obligation his body demands but his mind rejects. The pup settles as food enters his system, her kicks gentling into something that feels almost like contentment. The tablet buzzes. Another alert. Adrian Castellan placed on administrative leave from family business. Leo's breath catches. They fired him. Damian glances at the screen. Distanced, not fired. His family is protecting their reputation. By sacrificing him? By cutting off a diseased limb before the infection spreads. Damian's voice holds no sympathy. The Castellans have built their empire on image. Philanthropy. Omega rights advocacy in name only. Adrian's actions threaten that image. So they severed the connection. But he's still their son. He's also a liability. In families like that, liability outweighs blood. Leo sets the strawberry down half-eaten. His stomach churns. You sound like you know them. I do. Damian leans against the window, arms crossed. The Volkov family and the Castellan family have been circling each other for decades. Allies when convenient, enemies when profitable. Your bond to Adrian was noticed. By who? By everyone who pays attention. Damian's eyes meet his. An Omega from a mid-level security family bonding with a Castellan heir? That was strategic. Or it was supposed to be. Leo's chest tightens. You think Adrian bonded with me because of my family? I think Adrian bonded with you because someone told him to. And when you became inconvenient, when the pregnancy showed, when your body changed, when keeping you became more costly than discarding you, he followed orders. The words land like stones in deep water. Heavy. Sinking. Orders from who? His father. Maybe his uncle. Someone in the family who manages image. Damian's voice is clinical. Detached. You were never meant to keep that pup, Leo. The bond was supposed to be temporary. Controllable. When it became permanent, you became a problem. Leo's vision blurs. I was just a prop. To them? Yes. And to you. Damian pushes off the window. He crosses the room slowly, deliberately, until he's standing directly in front of Leo. Close enough that Leo has to look up. Close enough that his scent, steel and smoke, wraps around Leo like armor. To me, Damian says quietly, you're a debt I'm repaying, a promise I'm keeping, and a person who deserves better than being treated like a bargaining chip. Leo's throat tightens. I don't know if I believe you. That's fair. But I want to. Also fair. The tablet buzzes again. This time, the alert makes Damian's expression harden. Adrian Castellan files emergency custody petition. Claims unborn pup in danger. Leo's hands start shaking. He's trying to take her. He's trying, Damian corrects. He won't succeed. How do you know? Because federal bond law is clear. A rejected alpha has no legal claim to offspring conceived during the bond unless they can prove the omega is unfit. And you're not. But he'll lie. He'll say I'm unstable, that I let him. Damian's voice cuts through Leo's spiral like a blade. Let him lie under oath. Let him perjure himself in federal court. Every word he speaks digs his grave deeper. Marcus appears in the doorway. Sir, Adrian's lawyer is demanding a hearing. When? Tomorrow. Emergency session. Family court. Damian's jaw tightens. Fast. His family has pull. They're pushing for immediate action. Leo stands on shaking legs. Tomorrow? I can't. I need time to. You don't need time, Damian interrupts. You need a lawyer, which you have. You need evidence, which we have. You need protection, which I provide. His eyes lock on Leo's. You need to show up and tell the truth. Can you do that? Leo's hands move to his belly. The pup kicks, strong, insistent, alive. Yes, he whispers. Then we're ready. Marcus clears his throat. There's one more thing. Adrian's lawyer is claiming that Leo was coerced into leaving the clinic. They're arguing that any testimony he gives is under duress because he's living here. Under your influence. Damian's expression goes cold. Flat. Influence. Their words. Not mine. They're saying I'm controlling him. Yes. Leo's breath hitches. They're going to make it look like I traded one controlling alpha for another. Silence. Because it's true. Because that's exactly how it looks. Rejected omega, vulnerable, pregnant, rescued by a powerful alpha with known criminal connections. The optics write themselves. They're not wrong, Leo says quietly. Damian turns to face him. What? I am living here, under your protection, using resources you provide, following advice from doctors you hire. Leo's voice is steady despite the tears threatening to fall. From the outside, it looks exactly like what Adrian says. Like you're controlling me. But I'm not. Prove it. Leo meets his eyes. Prove to me right now that I'm free to leave. That I can walk out that door and you won't stop me. The room goes silent. Marcus shifts uncomfortably. His eyes dart between them. Damian doesn't move. Doesn't speak. Just holds Leo's gaze with those impossibly dark eyes. Then, slowly, deliberately, he steps aside. The path to the door is clear. Go, Damian says quietly. If that's what you want. Leo's heart hammers. His legs feel weak. The pup kicks once, twice, as if sensing his fear. He takes one step toward the door. Then another. Damian doesn't move. Doesn't speak. Just watches. Leo reaches the door. His hand touches the handle. Cold. Real. The way out. I have nowhere to go, Leo whispers. I know. Adrian will find me. Probably. And you'd let me leave anyway? Damian's expression doesn't change. Freedom means nothing if you can't choose to walk away. Leo's hand tightens on the handle. He thinks about the studio apartment above the laundromat, about 3 months of hiding, about Adrian's face in the clinic, about the pup kicking inside him, strong and alive and dependent on Leo's choices. He turns around. I'm staying, Leo says. Not because I have to, because I want to. Something flickers in Damian's eyes. Relief, maybe, or respect. Then tomorrow, Damian says, we go to court, and we make damn sure Adrian Castellan never touches you or your pup again. Marcus exhales softly. I'll prep the legal team. As he leaves, Leo sinks back onto the couch. His whole body is trembling. The tablet sits beside him, still scrolling through endless news alerts about Adrian's collapse. Thank you, Leo says quietly. Damian tilts his head. For what? For letting me choose. Damian's mouth curves slightly. That's the bare minimum, Leo. You shouldn't have to thank someone for that. But I do. They sit in silence as the city sprawls beneath them and Adrian's empire continues to crumble, one headline at a time. The courthouse is older than Leo expected. Stone columns, high ceilings, the kind of architecture designed to make people feel small, insignificant, like justice is something that happens above them, beyond them, regardless of them. Damian's hand rests lightly on Leo's lower back as they climb the steps. Not possessive, just present. A reminder that Leo's not alone. Remember, Damian says quietly, tell the truth. Don't embellish. Don't hide. Just truth. Leo nods. His hands won't stop shaking. Inside, the courtroom is already packed. Media in the back rows. Cameras banned but notebooks out, ready to transcribe every word. Adrian's family occupies the left side. Expensive suits, tight expressions, the collective face of a dynasty protecting itself. And Adrian, sitting at the defendant's table in a perfectly tailored suit, hair styled, expression carefully neutral. He looks nothing like the man who gripped Leo's shoulder in the clinic. He looks controlled, sympathetic, concerned. He looks like the victim. Leo's breath catches. Don't look at him, Damian murmurs. Look at the judge. Leo drags his eyes forward. The judge is a woman, middle-aged, sharp-featured, with the kind of expression that suggests she's heard every lie and excuse in the book and isn't impressed by any of them. Judge Patricia Morrison, according to the nameplate. All rise, the bailiff announces. Everyone stands. Leo's knees threaten to buckle. Damian's hand steadies him. Judge Morrison settles into her seat, scanning the room with the efficiency of someone who doesn't waste time. This is an emergency custody hearing, she begins, voice clear and no nonsense. Mr. Castellan has filed a petition claiming the unborn pup is in danger due to the Omega parents' unstable living situation and alleged coercion. We're here to determine if there's merit to these claims. Her eyes find Leo. Mr. Bennett, you're the Omega in question? Leo swallows. Yes, Your Honor. And you're currently residing with Mr. Volkov? Yes. Of your own free will? Leo feels every eye in the courtroom on him. Adrian's, his family's, the media's, all waiting for him to confirm the narrative they've already written. Yes, Leo says clearly. Of my own free will. Judge Morrison makes a note. Mr. Castellan's attorney, you may present your opening argument. Adrian's lawyer stands, a woman in her 50s, silver-haired, expensive. She smiles like she's already won. Your Honor, this case is tragically simple. My client, Adrian Castellan, bonded with Leo Bennett 2 years ago. The relationship was loving, stable, committed. When Mr. Bennett became pregnant, circumstances changed. Mr. Castellan made the difficult decision to end the bond due to irreconcilable differences. He kicked me out, Leo interrupts. Every head turns. Judge Morrison's eyebrow rises. Mr. Bennett, you'll have your turn to speak. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but she's lying. He didn't make a difficult decision. He rejected the bond, threw my belongings in the hallway, and told me he couldn't be seen with an omega who looked like me. Silence. Adrian's lawyer recovers quickly. Your Honor, this is exactly the kind of emotional instability we're concerned about. My client has documented proof that Mr. Bennett has been erratic, refusing medical care, living in unsafe conditions. I was living in a studio apartment, Leo says. His voice is shaking but clear. Above a laundromat. It wasn't luxury, but it was safe. And I was alone because Adrian rejected me while I was pregnant and carrying his pup. Mr. Bennett, Judge Morrison says firmly, I understand you're upset, but you need to let the attorney finish. Leo forces himself to sit back. Damian's hand finds his under the table, squeezes once. Adrian's lawyer continues, smooth and practiced. Furthermore, Your Honor, after the bond rejection, which was legally documented and filed appropriately, my client learned that Mr. Bennett was seen entering a medical facility. Concerned for the pup's welfare, Mr. Castellan went to the clinic to offer support. Instead, he witnessed Mr. Bennett being removed from the facility by Mr. Volkov, a known criminal with documented ties to organized crime. Objection, Marcus stands. Mr. Volkov has never been charged with any crime, and his business ventures are entirely legitimate. Sustained, Judge Morrison says. Ms. Crawford, stick to facts, not innuendo. Adrian's lawyer doesn't miss a beat. Of course, Your Honor. The fact is that Mr. Bennett left the clinic with Mr. Volkov and has been residing in his penthouse ever since. We believe this constitutes coercion. Mr. Bennett is isolated from family, from friends, entirely dependent on a powerful alpha who has a vested interest in controlling the narrative around my client. She pauses for effect. We're asking the court to grant temporary custody of the unborn pup to Mr. Castellan, with provisions for Mr. Bennett to receive appropriate medical and psychological care in a neutral facility until the pup is born. Leo's blood runs cold. They want to lock me up. They want to control you, Damian corrects quietly. Judge Morrison makes more notes. Mr. Volkov's attorney, your response? Marcus stands. Your Honor, the petition is baseless and transparently retaliatory. Mr. Castellan isn't concerned about the pup's welfare. He's concerned about his reputation. We have extensive documentation proving that Mr. Castellan lured Mr. Bennett to that clinic under false pretenses, intending to force non-consensual cosmetic surgery. That's a lie, Adrian says, standing. Mr. Castellan, sit down, Judge Morrison snaps. Adrian sits, but his jaw is tight, hands clenched. Marcus continues. We have security footage, audio recordings, and witness testimony confirming that Mr. Castellan attempted to coerce Mr. Bennett into surgery he did not consent to. When Mr. Volkov intervened, he did so to protect a pregnant omega whose distress was evident to everyone present. Intervention or abduction? Adrian's lawyer counters. The footage shows Mr. Volkov physically removing Mr. Bennett from the facility, with Mr. Bennett's consent, under duress. Rescued from duress, Marcus corrects. Caused by your client. Judge Morrison holds up a hand. Enough. I want to hear from Mr. Bennett directly. Her eyes find Leo. Mr. Bennett, approach the stand. Leo's legs barely hold him as he stands. Damian's hand slips away, and Leo feels the absence like cold water. The bailiff swears him in. Leo's hand shakes on the Bible. Tell me in your own words, Judge Morrison says. What happened at the clinic? Leo takes a breath, then another. Adrian contacted me, he begins. His voice is quieter than he wants it to be. Through an unknown number. He said I had a prenatal consultation scheduled. I believed him because I was desperate. I hadn't had medical care in months. Why not? Because I couldn't afford it. And because I was hiding from him. Why were you hiding? Leo's hands curl into fists. Because when I told Adrian I was pregnant, he rejected the bond. He said he couldn't be seen with an omega who looked like me. That I'd let myself go. That I was ugly. Adrian's lawyer stands. Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay and overruled, Judge Morrison says flatly. This is family court, Ms. Crawford. The Omega's testimony about their bond experience is directly relevant. Continue, Mr. Bennett. Leo swallows. He threw me out. I had nowhere to go. No money. No support. I found the apartment above the laundromat and I've been there for 3 months, trying to survive until the pup came. And the clinic? I thought it was real. I thought someone cared enough to make sure the pup was okay. Leo's voice cracks. But when I got there, Adrian was waiting. He grabbed me. He recorded me crying. He told me I needed surgery to fix my face, to make me presentable, so he could acknowledge the pup as his. Did you consent to surgery? No. Did you want your face changed? No. Then what happened? Leo's eyes find Damian in the gallery. Solid. Steady. Real. Damian Volkov walked in, Leo says. He told Adrian to remove his hand. When Adrian refused, when he tried to force me to consent on camera, Damian stopped him. He took Adrian's phone. He gave me his jacket. And he asked me if I wanted to leave. And you said yes? Yes. Under duress? Leo looks directly at Judge Morrison. Under relief. The courtroom goes silent. I wasn't coerced. Leo continues, voice stronger now. I was rescued. Adrian was trying to force me into surgery I didn't want. Damian gave me a choice. That's the difference. Judge Morrison makes notes. And since then, have you been free to leave Mr. Volkov's residence? Yes. Has he restricted your movement, your communication, your access to medical care? No. He arranged for Dr. Chun to see me. She's independent. She told me if I wanted to leave, she'd help me. Damian told me the same thing. And yet you stayed. Because I'm safe there. Leo's hand moves to his belly. Because for the first time since Adrian destroyed my life, someone's treating me like a person instead of a problem. Adrian's lawyer stands again. Your Honor, this is clearly a traumatized Omega who's confused about. I'm not confused, Leo interrupts. His voice cuts through the courtroom like a blade. I'm clear. Adrian doesn't want this pup. He wants control. He wants his reputation protected. He wants me erased or fixed or hidden away so his family doesn't have to be embarrassed by what he did. That's not true, Adrian says, standing again despite his lawyer's hand on his arm. Leo, I loved you. I still do. This is all a misunderstanding. You rejected our bond, Leo says, looking at him directly for the first time. You called me ugly. You tried to force surgery on me. You recorded me crying and called it consent. His voice doesn't waver. That's not love. That's control. And I won't let you control our daughter. The word lands like a bomb. Daughter? Judge Morrison asks. Leo nods. We're having a girl. Dr. Chun confirmed it. She's healthy, strong, and she deserves better than a father who treats her carrier like property. Adrian's face drains of color. Judge Morrison makes one final note, then sets her pen down. I've heard enough, she says. I'm denying the emergency custody petition. Mr. Castellan, you have no legal standing to claim custody of an unborn pup from a bond you legally rejected. The Omega has not been proven unfit, unstable, or coerced. This petition is dismissed. Adrian's lawyer shoots to her feet. Your Honor, we respectfully. Dismissed, Judge Morrison repeats. Furthermore, I'm issuing a protective order. Mr. Castellan, you are not to contact Mr. Bennett directly or indirectly. You are not to approach him, his residence, or any medical facilities he attends. Violation will result in immediate arrest. Her eyes are cold. Do you understand? Adrian's mouth opens, closes. Yes, Your Honor. Good. We're adjourned. The gavel falls. Leo's knees finally give out. Damian is there instantly, catching him, holding him upright. You did it, Damian murmurs against Leo's hair. You won. Leo can't speak, can only shake. Can only let Damian guide him out of the courtroom as Adrian's family whispers furiously, and the media scribbles notes and justice. Finally, feels real. 3 weeks later, Leo stands at the penthouse windows and watches the city wake up. Dawn breaks slowly over the skyline, gold light spilling across glass and steel. The world looks different from 40 stories up. Cleaner, safer, as if height creates distance from everything ugly below. The pup his daughter kicks. Leo's hand moves automatically to the curve of his belly. She's getting stronger, more active. Dr. Chun says she'll come early. Maybe 6 weeks, maybe less. The thought terrifies and thrills him in equal measure. You're up early. Leo doesn't startle at Damian's voice anymore. 3 weeks of living here has taught him to recognize the sound of Damian's movements, the quiet way he enters rooms, the careful space he maintains. Couldn't sleep, Leo says. Damian joins him at the window. He's already dressed, black suit, white shirt, no tie yet. His hair is still damp from the shower. He smells like cedar and something darker. Bad dreams. No dreams. Just. Leo struggles for the word. Waiting. For the other shoe to drop. Damian's expression doesn't change, but something shifts in his eyes. Adrian's family filed an appeal. It was denied yesterday. Leo's breath catches. Yesterday, Marcus handled it. They're trying to claim the judge was biased. It won't work. The protective order stands. But they're not giving up. No. Damian's voice is matter of fact. They're not, but they're losing. Every attempt makes them look more desperate, more guilty. Leo watches the sunrise. How long will this go on? Until they accept they've lost. Or until the legal fees outweigh their pride. Damian pauses. Wealthy families don't surrender easily, but they do surrender eventually. And if they don't, then we keep fighting. The certainty in Damian's voice should be comforting. Instead, it makes Leo's chest tighten. Why? Leo asks, the question that's haunted him since the clinic. Why do you keep fighting for me? Damian is silent for a long moment. His eyes track something in the distance, a plane, maybe, or just light on glass. I told you, he says finally. Your father worked for mine. He saved my father's life once. Took a bullet meant for him during a disagreement. A disagreement. Leo almost laughs. You mean a war? Yes. Damian doesn't sugarcoat it. A war between families. Your father died protecting mine. And my father promised that if his family ever needed anything, we'd provide it. No questions. No limits. But I didn't know that. I never asked for help. You didn't have to. Damian turns to face him. I've been tracking you since your father died, making sure you were safe, making sure you had what you needed. You never noticed because you never needed to. Leo's mind reels. You've been watching me for years? Protecting you, Damian corrects. There's a difference. Is there? Yes. Damian's voice is firm. Watching implies waiting for something to happen. Protecting means preventing it. I wasn't waiting for Adrian to hurt you. I was making sure no one did. But he did anyway. Yes. Something dark flashes in Damian's eyes. He did. And I should have stopped it sooner. You couldn't have known. I should have. The words are sharp. Self-recriminating. I knew Adrian was volatile. I knew his family was pressuring him. I should have intervened before the bond was rejected. Leo stares at him. You blame yourself. Shouldn't I? No. Leo's voice is firmer than he expected. Adrian made his choices. You can't control that. But I could have protected you from the consequences. You did. Leo's hand finds Damian's arm. The touch is tentative, uncertain, but real. You stopped him in the clinic. You took me in. You fought for me in court. You're still fighting. Damian looks down at Leo's hand on his arm. His expression is unreadable. That's not enough, Damian says quietly. It's more than anyone else has ever done. They stand in silence. The sun climbs higher. The city wakes. Life continues, oblivious to the two people standing 40 stories above it. Dr. Chun called. Damian says, shifting topics. She wants to see you today. Routine checkup. Okay. And there's something else. Leo's stomach tightens. What? Damian pulls out his phone, taps the screen, hands it to Leo. It's a news article, published this morning. Castellan Industries removes Adrian Castellan from board of directors. Effective immediately, due to ongoing legal concerns. Leo's hands shake. They disowned him. Officially? No. Practically? Yes. Damian's voice is clinical. He has no power, no authority, no access to family resources. He's a liability they've severed. So it's over? The public part. Yes. And the private part? Damian takes the phone back. Adrian will still try, quietly, through lawyers and proxies. But he's wounded, desperate, which makes him predictable. And dangerous. Yes, which is why you're staying here until the pup is born. After that, Damian hesitates. After that, it's your choice. Leo's throat tightens. My choice. Always. The word settles between them like a promise. Dr. Chun arrives at noon. She sets up her equipment in the guest suite that's become Leo's room. Gel, ultrasound, the familiar routine. How are you feeling? She asks as she presses the wand to Leo's belly. Tired, scared, relieved. Leo watches the screen flicker to life. All of it. That's normal. Dr. Chun adjusts the angle. Especially after everything you've been through. On screen, the pup moves, kicks, turns. So much bigger than 3 weeks ago. She's strong, Dr. Chun murmurs. Heart rate is excellent. Position is good. You're about 30 weeks now. Maybe 6 weeks left. Maybe less. Maybe. First pups sometimes come early, especially after trauma. She pauses. Are you ready? Leo stares at the screen, at the tiny life he's been carrying, protecting, fighting for. I don't know, he admits. That's also normal. Dr. Chun finishes the exam, packs her equipment, hands Leo a folder. Birthing plan options, she explains. Hospital, home birth, private facility. Read through them. Decide what feels safest. After she leaves, Leo sits alone with the folder. He opens it slowly. Each option comes with detailed information. Pros, cons, risks, support staff. He's 3 pages in when Damian knocks. Come in, Leo calls. Damian enters carrying something. A box, wooden, old. He sets it on the table. What is this? Leo asks. Open it. Leo lifts the lid carefully. Inside photos, documents, letters. His breath stops. That's my father, Leo whispers, pointing to a photo. Young. Smiling. Alive. Yes, Damian confirms. He's with my father. Security detail. Moscow, I think. 20 years ago. Leo traces his father's face with one finger. He died when Leo was 12. Heart attack, they said. Sudden. Unexpected. He didn't have a heart attack, Damian says quietly. Did he? Leo looks up sharply. What? The bullet he took for my father. It damaged his heart. Doctors said he'd live, but the damage was permanent. It caught up to him eventually. Leo's vision blurs. So he died because of your family? Yes. And you think protecting me makes up for that? No. Damian's voice is firm. Nothing makes up for that. But honoring his sacrifice by protecting his son. That's the least I can do. Leo closes the box carefully. His hands are shaking. I don't know if I can forgive that, Leo says. I'm not asking you to. Then what are you asking? Damian meets his eyes. Stay. Until the pup is born. Let me keep you safe. After that, if you want to leave, I'll help you disappear. New identity. New city. Resources to start over. And if I want to stay? Damian's expression flickers. Surprise, maybe. Or hope. Then you stay, he says simply. Leo looks at the box. At the folder of birthing plans. At the windows overlooking a city that suddenly feels less hostile. I need time, Leo says. You have it. Damian leaves. The box remains. Leo opens it again. Studies his father's face. Younger than Leo is now. Smiling. Alive. The pup kicks. What do I do? Leo whispers to his belly. To the life inside him. To the daughter who'll be here soon, ready or not. She kicks again. Stronger this time. And somehow Leo knows the answer. He picks up the phone. Dials the number Damian gave him. I want to stay, Leo says when Damian answers. Not just until she's born. After. If that's okay. Silence. Then, that's more than okay. Leo exhales. Okay. Okay. They don't say more. Don't need to. Outside, the city sprawls. Inside, Leo finally feels like he's found something he thought he'd lost forever. Home. 6 weeks later, Leo's water breaks at 3 a.m. He's standing at the windows, again always, watching the city sleep when the first contraction hits. Not painful yet, just pressure. A warning. Damian, he calls. No response. Damian. Louder now. The door to Damian's room opens instantly. He's already moving, already dressed, or half-dressed at least. Pants, no shirt, hair disheveled from sleep he probably wasn't getting anyway. What's wrong? She's coming. Damian's eyes drop to the wet spot on the floor. His expression shifts from alert to focused, from protector to something else. Something Leo can't name but recognizes anyway. Partnership, maybe. I'll call Dr. Chun, Damian says, already reaching for his phone. How far apart are the contractions? I've only had one. Okay, we have time. Damian's voice is calm, steady. The same tone he uses when dismantling empires or negotiating truces. Go sit down. I'll handle everything. Leo's legs cooperate just long enough to get him to the couch before the second contraction hits. Harder this time. Sharper. He breathes through it the way Dr. Chun taught him. In for 4. Hold for 4. Out for 6. Damian is on the phone. Talking quickly, efficiently. Yes, water broke. Contractions just started. Understood. We'll be ready. He hangs up. She's on her way. 20 minutes. What if 20 minutes isn't enough? Then I deliver the pup myself. Damian says it like it's simple. Like he's done it before. Have you? No. But I can follow instructions under pressure. He disappears into the guest suite, Leo's room, and returns with the go bag Dr. Chan insisted they pack 3 weeks ago. You're going to be fine. How do you know? Because you've survived everything else. Damian sets the bag by the door. This is just one more thing. The contractions come faster than expected. By the time Dr. Chun arrives, they're 4 minutes apart. Leo is on the couch, breathing through each one, Damian's hand steady on his back. Good, Dr. Chun says, checking Leo quickly. You're progressing well. 6 centimeters already. Already. First pups can surprise you. She smiles. Your body knows what to do. The next hour blurs. Pain and pressure and Damian's voice, steady and grounding, talking Leo through each contraction. Dr. Chun monitors everything. Heart rate, dilation, position with calm efficiency. You're doing great, she keeps saying. Just a little longer, but a little longer stretches. 7 centimeters. 8, 9. I can't. Leo gasps during a particularly brutal contraction. I can't do this. You can, Damian says. His face is close, eyes locked on Leo's. You're the strongest person I know. You can do this. You don't know that. I do. Damian's voice is absolute. You survived Adrian. You survived 3 months alone. You survived a courtroom designed to break you. You can survive this. The words settle over Leo like armor. Okay, Leo whispers. Okay. 10 centimeters. Dr. Chan announces. It's time. Leo, when the next contraction comes, I need you to push. The next contraction builds like a wave. Unstoppable. Overwhelming. Leo pushes. And pushes. And pushes until his vision blurs and his muscles scream and he's certain he can't possibly continue. I see her, Dr. Chin says. One more push, Leo. Just one more. Leo looks at Damian. At the man who saved him. Protected him. Gave him a choice when everyone else tried to take it away. One more, Damian echoes. Leo pushes. And then, crying, loud, insistent, alive. She's here, Dr. Chan says, lifting a tiny, squirming form. She's perfect. Leo's vision swims. He can barely see through the tears as Dr. Chun places his daughter, on his chest. She's small, red-faced, screaming, beautiful. Hi, Leo whispers, hand cupping her tiny head. Hi, baby, I'm your dad. I'm your dad. She quiets at his voice, opens her eyes, unfocused, dark, searching. She knows you, Damian says quietly. He's still beside Leo, close enough that Leo can feel him shaking. She knows your voice. Leo looks up. Damian's eyes are wet. You're crying, Leo says, surprised. So are you. They both are. Leo and Damian, stranger and protector, watching this tiny life that survived everything she shouldn't have. Dr. Chun works quietly, cutting the cord, checking vitals, cleaning up, professional, efficient, giving them space to just be. What's her name? Damian asks eventually. Leo looks down at his daughter, at the tiny face scrunched against his chest, at the perfect little fingers gripping his thumb with surprising strength. Sophia, Leo says. After my mother. Sophia, Damian repeats. The name sounds different in his voice, softer, sacred. Dr. Chun finishes her work. She's healthy, 7 pounds, 2 ounces. Strong lungs, obviously. She smiles. You both did beautifully. After she leaves, it's just the 3 of them. Leo in the bed Dr. Chun brought. Sophia sleeping on his chest. Damian in a chair beside them, watching like he's guarding something precious. Thank you, Leo says quietly, for everything. You already thanked me. I mean it more now. Damian's eyes meet his. So do I. They sit in silence. Sophia sleeps. The sun rises outside the windows, painting the city gold. What happens now? Leo asks. Now? Damian considers. Now you heal. Now you learn to be a parent. Now you decide what kind of life you want. And you, I keep my promise. I protect you. Both of you. He pauses. For as long as you'll let me. Leo looks at Sophia, at her tiny face, so peaceful in sleep, at the life he created, survived for, fought for. Okay, Leo says. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Leo's hand settles protectively over Sophia's back. We're staying. Sophia and me, if that's still okay. Damian's expression cracks. Just slightly. Just enough. That's more than okay, he says. Voice rough. Honest. Real. Leo shifts carefully, making room. Want to hold her? Damian freezes. Please. Slowly, carefully, Damian moves to the bed. Leo transfers Sophia into his arms with the kind of trust that comes from knowing someone would die before dropping what matters. Damian holds her like she's made of glass, like she's the most important thing in any room, like he understands exactly what she represents. Not just Leo's daughter, but the future they're building. Messy, complicated, real. Hi, Sophia, Damian whispers. I'm gonna keep you safe. Both of you, I promise. Sophia yawns. Tiny, perfect. Leo watches them. This man who saved him, this daughter who survived, this strange, impossible family they're becoming. Thank you, Leo says again, for giving me a choice. Damian looks up. That's the bare minimum. Crying, loud, insistent, alive. She's here, Dr. Chan says, lifting a tiny, squirming form. She's perfect. Leo's vision swims. He can barely see through the tears as Dr. Chun places his daughter, on his chest. She's small, red-faced, screaming, beautiful. Hi, Leo whispers, hand cupping her tiny head. Hi, baby, I'm your dad. I'm your dad. She quiets at his voice, opens her eyes, unfocused, dark, searching. She knows you, Damian says quietly. He's still beside Leo, close enough that Leo can feel him shaking. She knows your voice. Leo looks up. Damian's eyes are wet. You're crying, Leo says, surprised. So are you. They both are. Leo and Damian, stranger and protector, watching this tiny life that survived everything she shouldn't have. Dr. Chun works quietly, cutting the cord, checking vitals, cleaning up, professional, efficient, giving them space to just be. What's her name? Damian asks eventually. Leo looks down at his daughter, at the tiny face scrunched against his chest, at the perfect little fingers gripping his thumb with surprising strength. Sophia, Leo says. After my mother. Sophia, Damian repeats. The name sounds different in his voice. Softer, sacred. Dr. Chun finishes her work. She's healthy. 7 pounds, 2 ounces. Strong lungs, obviously. She smiles. You both did beautifully. After she leaves, it's just the 3 of them. Leo in the bed Dr. Chun brought. Sophia sleeping on his chest. Damian in a chair beside them, watching like he's guarding something precious. Thank you, Leo says quietly, for everything. You already thanked me. I mean it more now. Damian's eyes meet his. So do I. They sit in silence. Sophia sleeps. The sun rises outside the windows, painting the city gold. What happens now? Leo asks. Now? Damian considers. Now you heal. Now you learn to be a parent. Now you decide what kind of life you want. And you? I keep my promise. I protect you. Both of you. He pauses. For as long as you'll let me. Leo looks at Sophia, at her tiny face, so peaceful in sleep, at the life he created, survived for, fought for. Okay, Leo says. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Leo's hand settles protectively over Sophia's back. We're staying. Sophia and me. If that's still okay. Damian's expression cracks. Just slightly. Just enough. That's more than okay, he says. Voice rough. Honest. Real. Leo shifts carefully, making room. Want to hold her? Damian freezes. Please. Slowly, carefully, Damian moves to the bed. Leo transfers Sophia into his arms with the kind of trust that comes from knowing someone would die before dropping what matters. Damian holds her like she's made of glass, like she's the most important thing in any room, like he understands exactly what she represents. Not just Leo's daughter, but the future they're building. Messy, complicated, real. Hi, Sophia, Damian whispers. I'm gonna keep you safe. Both of you, I promise. Sophia yawns. Tiny. Perfect. Leo watches them. This man who saved him. This daughter who survived. This strange, impossible family they're becoming. Thank you, Leo says again, for giving me a choice. Damian looks up. That's the bare minimum.